Good evening, viewers and listeners of Concerned Citizens Media. Thank you again for joining me. I always appreciate you taking your time and sharing the news update with me. Thank you so much. Today is December 29, 2022. We are just 2 days away from 2023, the new year. So if I don't come back within these 2 days, this will be the last broadcasting for 2022. So I try to come back and wish you Happy New Year to you and to myself. But if I don't come back, I will wish a prosperous, a happy 2023 for all of you, a year that you can uh, hear only positive uh, things, good things, development, freedom, justice, equality, and other good stuff in 2023. I wish we don't want to talk about war and destruction. I hope we'll talk about accountability, rehabilitation, justice for the victims in 2023. So let me start with protests in Ethiopia. These Oromo protesters are expressing their frustration, anger against Prosperity Party system, also opposing the formation of new cities around Addis Ababa, combining different cities into one administration. So they are against it, and they are also expressing the deep pain uh, against the system, what they are feeling, and how the leaders are treating them. And despite, Oromos are sharing different religious denomination, Oromos are attacked, denounced, humiliated because of their ethnic origin, Oromo. So let's listen. This is an Afan Oromo, but in general, is a sense of frustration, a sense of anger against Prosperity Party and against those who are supporting, standing with the Prosperity Party from Oromo community. Let's listen what they say, and I will have one more talking about AU delegation visiting Mekele. Then after that, I will update. I will have update on reading different news. Then finally, uh, the breaking news about the passing of soccer legend, the king of soccer or the king of football, Pele. So he passed away today at age 82. I reported about his health condition before. So he was in a serious situation. So uh, he lost the battle against colon cancer. Thank you again. Let's listen to this. Waaqa biraa qaba yoo guddate waaquma lama qabdu bar tokko islaamuma tokko kiristaanuma isaan sun iyyuu waaqa isaa san hin sodaanne si ajjeesuu jira isaan sun si ajjeesuu jira amma amaara islaamaa tokko yoo laal amaara islaamaa islaamummaadhaaf harkiin isirraa qusatu hin jiru si ajjeesa amaara kiristaanummaadha oromoo kiristaanaa jira oromoo islaamaa jira amaara kiristaanaa jira amaara islaamaa jira ni beekna bareechine garuu ammoo amaarri kiristaanaatiif amaarri islaamaa ajaja sana godhatanii oromoo lachuu ni adamsu oromoo kiristaanaatiif oromoon islaamaallee adamfa gubachuu jirtaa'u waaqni ati gabbartu isaa wajjin isa kamime rabbiin ati addatti sodaattu sun kami inni rabbiin isaa ajajarraa fudhatee dhufee gaasa sitti naqeessi gubu sunoo kami amma walumaa galatti sheekoleen oromootiif qeessiin oromoo gabrummaa ba'aa guddaa nutti fiduu jira sodaa guddaa keessa waan seentaniif deemsii tokko sobamaa
akkuma abbaa gadaa hoolata arguu jirtan kan mootummaa kursii jalatti qabu ka'eedha amma manni isaatu saamame kunoo galateeffatu kaa mootummaa gaafa sana ni jabeessina deebitire mootummaa saamame waan dhufuun beekina waan ta'een beekin waan dhufuun beeku kaa waan dhufu wallaaluu irraa gaafa sana namicha kursii jalatti qabame har'ammoo takka takkaan qaqqabu jira waan isaan mana keessaa qaban harkatti argamsuu jira kun ammoo yakka guddaa osoo hin taane yakkamtoonni osoo warra sanas hin taane yakkamaan mataa keenyaadha. Waa hubachuun duratti harka dhoofneef itti galle ni deeggarre ni tumsineef kun hundi miidhaa ta'e sheekoleen Oromoo qeensiin Oromoo keessaayyuu ani warra kanarratti kan xiyyeeffannoo kiyya deebi'e. Yoo haqa keetiif du'uun shahiideetiif hin taane taate Islaamaan barsiisattee nu rakkisaan oolin. Namaatu gabaabdumatti ani sheekaan ani olomaan ani quraanaan beekaa quraana keessatti akka kee irratti shahiidee ani sheekaan ani olomaan ani quraanaan beekaa quraana keessatti akka kee irratti shahiideedha jedhee bakka sayyoo ati muudidde nuti warri abdii kute siif himna bakka kana hin himtu taanaan amantiin ati nutti himaa ooltuus hin jiru. Ni baranna. Haqa keenyarra amma haqa isaarratti Oromoon lafa isaarratti ajjeefamee ibiddaan gubatee argisiisa. Mormarraa muranii mukatti suuqanii keessa deemanii itti mul'isuu jira magaalaa keessaan naanna'anii. Horii irraa saamuu jiru. Yoo haquma kee kana argaa rabbii sodaadhu jedhee kitaabni bakka sani nu haa qaramu. Takka ammoo nutti immoo haa dhiifamuu. Qeessiin harka lubbuu namaan balleessii cubbuudhaa jedhe. Lubbuun ta'e taphadhu sunoo maalisi? Kan nama si balleessu cubbuu ergan ta'ini ati yoo nama ajjeeste yoo namatti ajjeesu ajjeefte erga cubbuu ta'e ati maa duutaree kan cubbuu irraa bilisa maasi ajjeesu ani gabaabdumatti ani hin beeku rakkoon Itoophiyaa keessa jiru Oromoon guutumatti feetu pirezidaantii ta'e feetu Ilaaminaanuweelii ta'e feetu waaqeffataa ta'e feetu ortodoksii ta'e feetu peentee ta'e feetu kaatolikii feetu islaamikii ta'e duur jirtaat Oromoon kun hunduma takkumaas atiitu amantii 17 qaba malee sirni si ajjeesu tokko qofaadha. Oromoo mataatee jiraachuun kee yakka hin danda'amu. Kana jala muriitii ufittimi. Kanaafuu rakkina kanaafaa kana keessatti ilmaan Oromoo rakkatanii miidhamanii salphachuun waan fadhii isin gootan irraa kan ka'e har'a dargaggeessi biyya kana keessatti boora'ee isiniin jedha. Yoonni Oromoo addunyaa irra tan qubanu qabaadhaa akkasiin rakkoon keenya kanaadhaa hubachaa jira.
Hey, it's me, your skin. I crave being done with acne, but treating leaves me red, flaky, irritated. CeraVe.
Yeah, salam similarity.
Okay, come back to that one. So that is a frustration. That is, anger about the system, the atrocities the Oromos are facing. These youngsters, these Keros, expressing they are the what they call the ticking bomb is just waiting to explode, but controlled by Abiy Ahmed security forces and under continued undercover operation, undercover assassination. That's the only thing. They dislike Abiy Ahmed, who hijacked the revolution and attacked these youngsters, detained them, assassinated them, and harassed them for the last 4 or 3+ years, despite their support, in bringing him up to the prime minister level. So the anger is there, the frustration is there. So this speaker is, talking about how Oromos are killed. Graphically, their neck is put on the stick and shown on social media. Despite Oromos are sharing religious denomination, Christian, Muslim, Catholic. So Oromos, according to him, the Oromos are attacked just by being Oromo. And he's challenging also those religious Muslim and Christian scholars on their teaching. And he's, telling them, to advise Oromos to defend themselves on their own land. Their silence is not acceptable. And, he's unhappy. He's frustrated. It's a view of all Oromos, actually. All Oromos are tired of the burning of Oromo's house, the destruction of Oromo's properties, the killing, and the extra abuse, especially by Fano and Amara militia, crossing into Oromia region. So, and he's also calling on Oromos in the diaspora community to stand with Oromo's struggle. And, these are some of the facts he mentioned. And Oromos are being attacked despite sharing so many religious denomination. So Amara Muslim, Amara Christian, still against Oromo, despite Oromos are sharing their religion. So that's a tough one. And this is just the result of continued abuse, continued detention, continued assassination, continued mass atrocity against the Oromo people, whether in East and West Walaga or Shoa and other places. So that is the rough translation of that video, and the credit for that one is Awash Media. Let's listen to this one. This one is a short one. It's talking about AU delegation arriving and visiting Mekele for, to check it out, how the peace deal is carried out. Let's listen. This is in Amharic.
በትግራይ ክልል አስቸኳይ የሰብአዊ ድጋፍ በስፋት እየቀረበ ሲሆን መሰረታዊ አገልግሎቶችን መጀመራቸውን በአፍሪካ ህብረት የአፍሪካ ቀንድ ልዩ መልእክተኛ ኦሉሴጉን ኦባሳንጆ ገልጸዋል።
የህብረቱ ልዩ መልእክተኛ ኦሉሴጉን ኦባሳንጆን የቀድሞው የኬንያ ፕሬዝዳንት ኡሁሩ ኬንያታና በመንግስትና በህወሓት መካከል የተደረሰው የሰላም ስምምነትን ተከትሎ አፈጻጸሙን ለመመልከት መቀሌ ይገኛሉ።
በትግራይ መሰረታዊ አገልግሎቶች ዳግም እንዲጀመሩና ሰብአዊ ድጋፍ ተደራሽ በማድረግ የመንግስትን ቁርጠኝነት ያደነቁት ልዩ መልእክተኛው የመንግስትና የህወሓት አመራሮችም ለሰላም ስምምነቱ ላደረጉት ቀና ትብብር አመስግነዋል።
በሰሜን ኢትዮጵያ ሰብአዊ ድጋፍ ላይ ያለ ገደብ ማቅረብ መሰረታዊ አገልግሎቶችን መልሶ ማስጀመርና ዘላቂ ሰላም ማስፈን የሰላም ስምምነቱ አካል እንደነበረ ማስታወሰው ስምምነቱን ተከትሎ መንግስት በገባው ቃል መሰረት ሁሉንም ነገሮች ተፈጻሚ በማድረግ ላይ በመሆኑ አመስግነዋል።
በትግራይ ኤሌክትሪክ፣ ባንክ፣ ቴሌኮሙኒኬሽን፣ መንገድ እንዲሁም ሌሎች መሰረታዊ አገልግሎቶች በአጭር ጊዜ አገልግሎት መስጠት መጀመራቸው የሚደነቅ መሆኑንም ገልጸዋል።
የሰላም ስምምነቱን ተከትሎ መንግስት የሚታዩ አዎንታዊ እርምጃዎችን እየወሰደ መሆኑን ጠቅሰው በአፈ ጉባኤ ታገሰ ጫፎ የተመራ የመንግስት ከፍተኛ የስራ ኃላፊዎች ልዑክ በመቀሌ ያደረገው ጉብኝትንም የመንግስትን ቁርጠኝነት ያረጋግጥ ነው ብለዋል።
የአፍሪካ ህብረት የኢትዮጵያ ህዝብ የሁለቱ ወገኖች ሲቪልና ወታደራዊ አመራሮች ለዚህ ውጤት መምጣት ድርሻቸው የጎላ በመሆኑ ምስጋና ይገባቸዋልም ነው ያሉት ልዩ መልእክተኛው።
የቀድሞው የኬንያ ፕሬዝዳንት ኦሮ ኬንያታ ሁሉም የትራንስፖርት መተላለፊያዎች ለአስቸኳይ ሰብአዊ እርዳታና መሰረታዊ አገልግሎቶች ክፍት መደረጋቸውን አረጋግጠናልም ብለዋል።
በትግራይ ክልል የሰብአዊ እርዳታን ጨምሮ የአየር ትራንስፖርት፣ መንገድ፣ ባንኮች፣ የኤሌክትሪክና ሌሎችም አገልግሎቶች ዳግም ስራ መጀመራቸው እንደሚደነቅም ጭምር ጠቅሰዋል።
ለዚህ ውጤት የሁለቱ ወገኖች አመራሮች ምስጋና ይገባቸዋል፣ እኛም ትብብራችንን አጠናክረን እንቀጥላለን ሲሉ ተናግረዋል። የሰላም ስምምነቱ አፈጻጸም ለአፍሪካ ችግር አፍሪካዊ መፍትሄ መስጠት እንደሚቻልም ሁነኛ ማሳያ መሆኑን ገልጸዋል።
የፍትህ ሚኒስትሩ ዶክተር ጌዲዮን ጢሞቴዎስ በበኩላቸው መንግስት የሰላም ስምምነቱን ተከትሎ በገባው ቃል መሰረት ሁሉንም ነገሮች ተፈጻሚ እያደረገ ስለመሆኑ ተናግረዋል።
በቀጣይም በሁሉም መስክ በቁርጠኝነት የሚሰራ መሆኑን አረጋግጠው የሰላም ስምምነቱ አፈጻጸም ለአፍሪካ ችግር አፍሪካዊ መፍትሄ መስጠት እንደሚቻል ማሳያ ነው ብለዋል።
የህወሀት ከፍተኛ አመራር አቶ ጌታቸው ረዳ በትግራይ የሰብአዊ ድጋፍ አቅርቦቱን ጨምሮ የሰላም ስምምነቱ በሁለቱም ወገኖች ዘንድ ተግባራዊ የተደረገ ስለመሆኑ ተናግረዋል። ዘገባው የኢትዮጵያ ዜና አገልግሎት ነው።
Brazil is an inexhaustible wellspring of possibilities. Its project portfolio is increasingly diversified. How big do you think Brazil is? Think big. The biggest investment opportunities are in Brazil.
Federal police in Ethiopia began to deploy on Thursday to Mekele.
Okay, I'll come back to the remaining videos. So this one is talking about AU special delegation, Obasanjo, and former Kenya President Kenyatta, plus the Ethiopian high-level delegation visiting Tigray, Mekele, and doing the verification and the appreciation for Ethiopian government, opening up banks, electricity, transportation, and increasing the accessibility for humanitarian aid and other basic service. So that's the general view, and helping and assisting and verifying the peace deal. That's the main purpose. So a lot of travel to Addis and Mekele these days. Last time, high-level delegation, is carried 50 members from Ethiopian federal government visited and had a discussion with residents in Mekele. And Ethiopian, according to different news outlets, also Ethiopian Airlines resume flights to Mekele. And maybe you saw the different videos, how people are crying, expressing joy when they touch down in Mekele. So we appreciate the opening up. We appreciate the opening up, even though it comes after more than 500,000 people killed, and after massive humanitarian crisis, destruction, rape, and different grave human rights violation against the Tigray people especially. So the opening up should be appreciated. We are all happy to see, all the misery, slowly going away. The blockade is opening up. People start seeing the electricity, basic water supply, medicine, and transportation opening up. These are all positive development, and we are happy for the Tigray people. And but we don't want the Tigray people to be part of prosperity to attack other freedom fighters. That is in a making, that is in a cooking. They might be joining Prosperity Party Abiy Ahmed to help him to remain in power, to continue his war on Oromia and Oromo people. So if that happens, that's a very dangerous approach, and I am warning the Tigrayans not to cooperate in any form with these criminals in Addis Ababa. They should work out on the accountability. They should work out with the international community to bring justice and accountability for all war crimes committed by Amara, Fano militia, by Eritrean forces, by Ethiopian federal military commanders, including the prime minister. So, yes, we are okay for opening up this relationship, ending the blockade in Tigray, but we are very concerned that Tigray TPLF leadership might be joining with a prosperity party to undermine the freedom fighters in other areas. So that's a concern. Rather than all that, we are happy. I'm happy. I was, talking on this media for a long time, almost for a year, for opening up and to bring those criminals into accountability and the justice. That's miserable, shutting the entire community from all basic service. So that's bad, and I'm against that. Okay, let me read others. Three very short news from Addis Standard. The first one, Oromia police detain 11 suspects after grenade attack kills 1, injures 7 in Adama. Adama City Police Department says 1 person was killed and 7 more people were injured in a grenade attack in a bar in Adama City in East Shore Zone of Oromia Regional State on evening of 27 December. A police officer from the city's police department told Addis Standard that the attack was carried out around 8 p.m. local time in a bar called Hattrick Jumbo House, located in the Decha, Arara Kabale, Bole sub-city of Adama City. Following the attack, the police detained 11 suspects, 9 men and 2 women. The suspects are detained in a police station located in the Bole sub-city. According to the police officer, further investigations will be carried out to identify the perpetrators of the crime and motives behind it. The results of the inquiry will be made public as soon as the investigation is completed, he said. The Oromia Regional Communications Bureau also confirmed the grenade explosion and said that 1 person was killed, but the Bureau said the number of people injured were 3, adding that the security force have apprehended individuals suspected to have carried out the attack, and the investigation is underway. On 7 December, Addis Ababa police announced that 7 people were injured when a bomb exploded on the balcony of a grocery store in Lemmi Kura sub-city district, Warada 9 of the capital, Addis Ababa, and the investigation into explosion were going on. So this is another explosion, this time in Adama. Ethiopia's Right Commission condemned arrest of underage students by police following recent violence in Addis Ababa schools. The Ethiopian Human Rights Commission, EHRC, has condemned the arrest of underage students in connection to the violence that racked primary and secondary schools in Addis Ababa city administration over the past weeks. Since early December, several schools in various districts in Addis Ababa have seen unrest, some outright violence, in connection with the opposition against Oromia regional state anthem and regional flag being displayed in school compounds. On 12 December, Lydia Girma, head of the Addis Ababa City Peace and Security Bureau, announced that security forces in the city detained 72 individuals on allegation that they were working to instigate violence in and around schools in the city. In a statement it issued yesterday, Ethiopia Human Rights Commission said human rights violations were committed during the arrest of students by the police to control the violence. Some students suffered physical and psychological injuries of varying degrees. Properties of students and schools were destroyed, and child students were subjected to physical abuse and illegal detention. It stated, adding that it has confirmed there was no casualty as opposed to some media reports claiming the death of a student in one of the schools affected by the unrest. According to the statement, the student children, who are mostly under 18 years of age, were arrested even from the beginning and kept in prison for different periods of time, which is inappropriate and disproportionate to the situation. The detention of many students in police stations where there are no adequate services and where adult suspects are detained does not follow the principles of necessity, legality, and proportionality, which violates the rights of children, the Commission underscored. Ethiopia Human Rights Commission said the cause of the violence that led to the arrest of students was a dispute between members of the school community, including students with different ideas and interests regarding the purpose of hosting the flag of Oromia region and singing the regional anthem in the schools. The Commission stated that forcibly hoisting the flag of another regional state in Addis Ababa has no legal basis and is an act that creates unnecessary controversy and violence that threaten the violation of human rights. It also urged the government to identify, consider, and prevent or reduce the negative effects of decisions, regulations, and programs, policies, or procedures that may affect human rights before their implementation. Credit at this standard. So, Ethiopian Human Rights Commission is following some news, some frustration of the community very seriously, but ignoring some issues for political purpose or siding with the government. How many teenagers we saw in Ethiopian army? How many? How many did the Ethiopian government and the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission said anything? None. None. It's on the video. On the video, those teenagers tricked into the military service and forced into the military service. And all these teenagers, youngsters in Oromia region, still maybe in detention center, still never said anything. Many killed, but so sometimes they do reporting good, sometimes they are siding, doing the cover up for Ethiopian government, for Prosperity Party. Why? They are get paid by the government. They are not independent. They are getting their salary from Ethiopian government, from Abiy Ahmed. This one about Ethiopian army chief, he was in Turkey, you know, Branu Jula, Marshal Branu Jula, visiting Turkey, looking for drones, and try to get more weapons. He is not there to look for employment opportunities for Ethiopians or for diplomatic relations. No, he is looking for more drones, more military hardware to attacks. But let's see what Addis Standard says. But a delegation led by Field Marshal Branu Jula, Chief of General Staff of the Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENDF, is visiting Turkey, where he met and discussed with his counterpart Yasar Guler, Chief of the General Staff of the Turkish Armed Force, the latter's office, according to the Ethiopian National Defense Force. I never seen, I don't know when Turkey changed into Turkey these days. The delegation is in Turkey on an official since Tuesday. The Ethiopian National Defense said that in addition to the discussion between the two chiefs of staff on a military relations and other issues between the two countries, the delegation toured Turkey's defense technology industries and observed the industry's contribution to the modernization of the defense force and the development of Turkey. The delegation also observed the level of technological development of Turkey defense, Ethiopian National Defense Force said, adding that the Ethiopian delegation's visit will strengthen the old friendship between the two countries and will contribute significantly to the exchange of military experiences. Yes. On 19 March this year, the Council of Ministers approved a draft bill on military cooperation agreement with the Republic of Turkey, including agreement on joint military exercise, anti-piracy collaboration, and cyber attack prevention. The bill was subsequently sent to and approved by the House of People's Representatives in May. Those military collaboration between the two countries ramped up following the visit by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed on 18 August 2021 to Ankara, where he met with the President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Yes, countries sharing technologies, sharing experience is good. Cooperation between countries is appreciated, but we don't appreciate Turkey or Turkey providing drones and other military hardware so that Prosperity Party can continue their war on Oromos. So we are against it. Concerned Citizens Media is against that approach, and that must be opposed. Protesters, they miss the opportunity to denounce those countries providing drones to Abiy Ahmed. So that may be one reason, which is not officially described by Addis Standard. That may be one reason, visiting Turkey to gain more drones and other military hardware. Okay, here we go. This is the breaking news for today. And CNN and other media also reported the passing of Brazilian soccer legend Pele at age 82. Let me read. Pele, the Brazilian soccer legend who won 3 World Cups and became the sport's first global icon, has died at the age of 82. Everything that we are is thanks to you, his daughter, Kelly Nascimento, wrote in a post of Instagram under an image of family members holding Pele's hands. We love you infinitely. Rest in peace. Pele was admitted to a hospital in Sao Paulo in late November for a respiratory infection and for complications related to colon cancer. Last week, the hospital said his health had worsened as his cancer progressed. He died on Thursday from multiple organ failure due to the progression of colon cancer, according to a statement from Albert Einstein Hospital. So for more than 60 years, the name Pele has been synonymous with soccer. Brazilian footballer Neymar said, Pele changed everything. In a post on Instagram, he wrote, he turned football into art, into entertainment. He gave a voice to the poor, to black people, and especially he gave visibility to Brazil. Football and Brazil have raised their status thanks to the king, he added. Portuguese star forward Cristiano Ronaldo sent his condolences to Brazil in a post on Instagram saying, a mere goodbye to the eternal King Pele will never be enough to express the pain that currently engulfs the entire football world. Kylian Mbappe of Paris Saint-Germain said on Pele's death, the king of football has left us, but his legacy will never be forgotten. Former English soccer player Geoff Hurst wrote on Twitter of his memories of Pele, calling the late star, without doubt, the best footballer I ever played against. For me, Pele remains the greatest of all time, and I was proud to be on the pitch with him. Rest in peace, Pele, and thank you. Brazil's incoming president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, took to Twitter to pay his respect to Pele, saying, few Brazilians took the name of our country as far as he did. As different from Portuguese as the language was, foreigners from the four corners of the planet soon found a way to pronounce the magic word Pele, Lula added. Pele's wake will be held at Villa Balmiro, the headquarters of the Santos FC in Sao Paulo state, a spokesperson told CNN. The time and the date of the event has yet to be announced. This is the expression from Pele on interview. If I pass away one day, I am happy because I tried to do my best, he told the Talks Online magazine. My sport allowed me to do so much because it is the best sport in the world. That's from Pele. So, say if I pass away one day, I'm happy because I tried to do my best. Pele was born Edson Arantes do Nascimento. That is his real name. I don't know how it became Pele, but that is the family name. Edson Arantes do Nascimento. He was born in Tres Corações, an inland city roughly 155 miles northwest of Rio de Janeiro in 1940s, before his family moved to the city of Bauru in Sao Paulo. So for further details, you can check it out cnn.com. In addition to those famous sport personnel, President Joe Biden and Barack Obama also expressed their condolences in such a way. Let me read. For a sport that brings the world together like no one other, Pele's rise from humble beginnings to soccer legend is a story of what is possible. Today, Jill and I thoughts are with his family and all those who loved him. US President Joe Biden. Pele was one of the greatest to ever play the beautiful game, and as one of the most recognizable athletes in the world, he understood the power of sports to bring people together. Our thoughts are with his family and everyone who loved and admired him. Former US President Barack Obama. So these are the leaders expressing their condolences and appreciation for Pele's contribution. So concerned citizens media also join those famous sport personnel and president in expressing deep condolences on the passing of this soccer legend Pele. He is really, truly, is the king of football. So we are, I'm saddened. I was, watching different videos. Pele played with different teams. I feel sad. I feel sad, and I admire his way of playing, and appreciate his goals. These are specials, and but the end will come one day for all of us. Where I express sadness and wish the family, the friends, co-workers, his supporters, his fans, wish them comfort, strength at this challenging time. Rest in peace, our hero, our soccer legend, king of football, Pele. This is from White House. Okay, this is the last one for today's reading. Benjamin Netanyahu is coming back again to the prime minister. I don't know, Israelis, they don't have another politician. I don't know why they just keep bringing Netanyahu. He's a very tough guy, cruel when it comes to Israelis. When it comes to, Palestinians. He is coming with expansionist agenda, taking more lands from Palestinians. So Israelis are happy with him. They are keep bringing him despite, court challenges he is facing. So he's a prime minister again. Let me read. It's a bad day for Palestinians, really. Statement from President Joe Biden on the new government of the State of Israel. Today, Israelis Knesset voted to ratify a new Israeli government under the leadership of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I look forward to working with Prime Minister Netanyahu, who has been my friend for decades, to jointly address the many challenges and opportunities facing Israel and the Middle East region, including threats from Iran. The United States is working to promote a region that is increasingly integrated, prosperous, and secure, with benefits for all of its people. From the start of my administration, we have worked with partners to promote this more hopeful vision of a region at peace, including between Israelis and Palestinians. We aim to continue this important work with Israel's new government under Prime Minister Netanyahu's leadership. And as we have throughout my administration, the United States will continue to support the two-state solution and to oppose policies that endanger its viability or contradict our mutual interest and values. Yeah, I appreciate Biden for expressing his support for two-state solution. Please do it immediately. Don't take time. It has been in talk for a long time. That's the only thing that can separate Palestinians and Israelis. If not, Netanyahu is on board, and he do whatever he thinks, and he's very cruel, very cruel, very cruel, and he can say whatever comes to his mind. We watch him during Barack Obama, former president, even calling for one-time president. He say whatever, disrespectful, and he's coming back. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, I just go with Biden's wish, two-state solution, and no contradiction to that one, and working on the viability of the two-state solution, and signing that deal very soon. We are not talking about the 1967 border. That is illusion at this time. Just stop right now before they are moving further into Palestinian land. 1967, no way Palestinians can get that one. At the current situation, they are squeezed down, and they lost the many friends they used to have. So 1967 is dead at the arrival. We're talking about preventing Israelis, Netanyahu, before engulfing the whole Palestinian land. He will do it. He is very cruel guy, and Israelis, they like him. That's why they bring him back. That's all I have for today, and let's listen to a couple of short videos and end today's presentation. This one is Ethiopia Federal Police, taking responsibility in Mekele.
Capital of war-torn Tigray province, marking a new stage in a nearly 2-month-old peace deal. War between the federal government and Tigray rebels began in November 2020. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed sent troops into the northern region after accusing its ruling party, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, of attacking army bases. According to the US, as many as 500,000 people have died as a result of this conflict. An agreement reached on November the 2nd in the South African capital Pretoria provides for the disarmament of rebel forces, the reestablishment of federal authority in Tigray, and the reopening of access to the region. Last week, the two sides agreed to create a joint monitoring and compliance mechanism.
You need to know, Brazil is one of the biggest producers of clean energy on the planet. How big do you think Brazil is? Think big. The biggest investment opportunities are in Brazil.
That's Pele.
For many in the world, the Brazilian forward known as Pele was the finest footballer to ever grace the beautiful game. Wherever he went, thousands of fans would follow, hoping to catch a glimpse of the three-time World Cup winner. There have been other mythic players, such as Argentina's Diego Maradona, but in the end, none of them have been as widely revered as Pele. He began his senior career at Brazilian side Santos, where he would play for almost 20 years, nearly scoring a goal every game on average. He remains the club's top all-time goal scorer, loved by fans new and old. But it was arguably his international exploits for Brazil that were the most memorable. At the age of 16, Pele had already made his mark on the international stage, scoring his debut against arch-rivals Argentina in 1957. 1 year later, his skills shone through in the 1958 World Cup, clinching Brazil's first title, which they would successfully defend in 1962. He then led Brazil to an unprecedented third triumph in Mexico in 1970. He remains the only man to have won 3 World Cup titles. Officially, he scored 757 goals in 831 games throughout his 20-year career, although club Santos claim his tally was closer to 1,000 goals.
Okay. So, rest in peace, Pele. You did your part for Brazil and for the rest of the world. And, you know, we will never forget about you when we always watch soccer. You are the icon of that sport. So let me conclude today's presentation by saying the engagement between Tigray and the federal government of Ethiopia is inspiring, appreciative. We appreciate that one. The opening up of all basic services, bank, electricity, transportation, humanitarian aid, medicine, all kind of service. These people, have been denied for almost more than 2 years. So they are, they are happy now. We are happy now about the opening up and the silencing of the gun and the re-engagement, regional and federal government. But this does not mean the investigation must stop. The United Nations has a team of 3 experts ready to go and to document, to engage with the victims and report what they're finding in next year. So they should be allowed. Tigray region authorities and the federal government authorities, they should not be an obstacle for this investigation. They're trying to avoid accountability and justice for the victims. So we are seriously watching for that day to come. So the Prime Minister Isaias Afwerki and their generals, whoever carried out the war crime, must face justice, and we are calling for that accountability. We are happy for the re-engagement. We are happy everything, positive development in that region. We are happy for the Tigray people, and we are worried that Tigray authority, TPLF, might be used, in helping the Prosperity Party in its fight against the Oromo people. So we are worried about that one, and we are worried about the accountability for the victims. All the looting, the rape, the destruction, the burning, all the assassination on videos. So I'm calling for justice and accountability for that. And Concerned Citizens Media is happy for re-engagement and reintegration, the start of the flight into Tigray and other all basic service happening. So that's a good news for all of us. So that's all I'm gonna say for today. If I'm not coming back before the new year, I wish you a prosperous, very happy new year. 2023 will be the year you hear all positive news, no negative news, happy news, and justice, accountability, freedom for all. So that's all I'm gonna say for today. Please be safe in celebrating the new year. So long, everyone.